Hi, Eric Barker with the Clay County Assessor's Office, discussing property at 8012 South Church Road. Our assessed market value on this home is $222,100. The owner's opinion of value is $177,827. The home was purchased April of '22 for $275,000. And this owner did not have an informal meeting. The subject home is a 3-bed, 2-bath home with 350 square foot basement finish and has minimal updates. All comps are located on the same street as the subject property and have similar age, build, square footage, and amenities. Comp 1 has minimal updates and was sold September of '24 for $265,000. Comp 2 has minimal updates and was sold January of 2025 for $293,000. Comp 3 has minimal updates and was sold August of 2023 for $268,000. The comps produced by the rep, which again is the second page that you all have, they do not meet our qualifications as to what we would call good comps, as most all of them range from 29 years older to 99 years older than the subject property, except comp number 1, which we actually also used. But as stated above, all the comps that I provided are similar in every way and more than support our value of $222,100. But even more than that, the fact that the subject home was purchased for $275,000 just 3 years ago, I feel solidifies our value even more.
Well, he says 233 this time. The county's got a 274. Okay, we're talking about 9404 North Kenwood.
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Anthony Medina, Clay County Assessor Office, address 9404 North Kenwood Avenue. We do not have an informal for this property. Currently, it is appraised at $274,800. The comps that you have in front of you, all comps are similar in style, and quality, and are on the same neighborhood as the subject property. Comp 1 is original interior. Comp 2 has a slightly updated interior. Comp 3 is original interior. Again, all comps are from the subject property. The individual that did appeal these properties, or this property, did provide their own comps. None of those comps that they provided was from the neighborhood where the subject property is located, as well as the comps that they did provide had inaccurate square footage on those comps.
They have inaccurate what?
Square footage.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, county says that. 50 grand.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, what?
This is Stuart Stryker with the Clay County Assessor's Office, discussing property 8022 North Tracy Avenue. The property was bought back in 2022 for $291,000, and our current valuation is $279,700. For our comparable sales, comp number 1 is a raised ranch, around the same square footage, maybe a little older, that sold in March of 2025 for $317,000. We have another raised ranch that was bought in July of 2024 for $262. Comp number 3 is another raised ranch that was bought in October of 2024 for $305. Comp number 4 is another raised ranch that was bought for $350 in July of 2024. And comp number 5 is a raised ranch that was bought in February of 2024 for $290. And I also gave you guys a copy of the comparable sales that the agent gave us, just to show you where their comps were for, like, in our format, in our comp grid. And even their comparable sales show that we are about where the value should be.
Looking into their comps.
You see that? First two comps are 298 and 308. And they put it in. That's why I asked, was this the buyer's agent?
Yeah.
Totally destroyed his clients.
Yes, I mean, what are we doing?
Okay, go, sorry.
All right, this is for property 6820 Willis Drive. And I gave you an MLS sheet showing that they bought the property in 2022 for $252,450. Our current valuation is at $252,200. For our comparable sales, comp number 1, all these are buy levels. Comp number 1 sold for $347 in June of 2024. Comp number 2 is another buy level that sold for $250 in February 2025. Comp number 3 is a split level that sold for $333,250 in September of 2023. Comp number 4 is a split level that sold for $290 in April 2023. And comp number 5 is a buy level that sold for $308 in March of 2024. And again, for this one, I also gave you a copy of the agent's comparable sales. And based even on their comparable sales, our valuation is good where it's at.
First, sir, and then we'll hear from the county, and if there's necessary, we'll let you rebut.
Sure.
Go.
Good morning, and thanks. I guess I'm the only one who's come in. Yeah, I'll get it up here better. No, I understand. I understand. My name is Bob Murphy, Robert Murphy, and I represent Mr. and Mrs. McBride, and they're the homeowner at 9311 Northeast 88th Terrace. I've presented an appraisal that I hoped to have done earlier, but just got it myself, shared it with the staff, and I want to let the board know Mr. Medina's been in contact with me, and they've certainly been very good to work with, okay? We are just recommending a value on the home of $610,000. It's been assessed in the 700 range, low 700s. We've got some photographs. It's, you know, not trying to say it's not a nice home. It is. It's a little dated, got a few issues. So we've included some photos. You know, the next buyer would probably do a fair amount of remodeling just for the style of what's in there. When we looked at some sales, which is about midway back through the packet, they were coming in a little lower, 600, 635, 675, 680. Price per square feet in the range of 150 basically to 190, 140, I'm sorry. So, as I say, with everything we looked at there, the appraiser, Mr. Ormiston, came up with a value of $610,000. It is a nice lot and location, certainly. As I say, I know an appraisal is a lot to take in a very short period of time, so I'd hoped to have this earlier. But as I say, we're looking for something more in the $610,000 range. And
Some questions?
sure.
Are all of your comps in Copperleaf?
Let me look. I am not sure, to tell you the truth.
I don't think they are.
They might.
That's the
yeah.
reason why I'm asking you.
Yeah. If they're not, they're not.
They may be, I don't.
No, I'm looking here. I don't have a map of the subdivision with me, so I would be.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I don't think they are, but they could be. I just don't know. I just thought. Maybe
Yeah,
you might know.
I don't want to mislead you. I'm just.
You did the appraisal yourself, didn't
No,
you?
no. I'm a schmuck attorney. I'm not an appraiser.
Okay.
So.
I saw it was done
Yeah.
by.
No, Mr. Ormiston did the appraiser, and as I say, I'm just an attorney.
I see.
Yeah, and we not to knock my education, but we are a dime a dozen compared to appraisers.
So my other question, you probably can't answer either, but all of the comps don't appear to, you mentioned the lot and the attractiveness of the lot a minute ago.
Yeah,
None of your comps are anywhere close to being in a cul-de-sac backing up to a woods, it doesn't appear.
that's probably correct.
Yeah, which would
That's-
have an influence on the value. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
No, I just.
He's confirmed what I was hear from the county, please.
Anthony Medina, Clay County Assessor Staff. property located at 9311 Northeast 88th Terrace. We did have an informal with the homeowners, and they did indicate a few concerns with the property. They did acquire the property in 2006 for $509,427. Currently, we have it appraised at $762,500. In 2023, we did lower it by 2%, which was $13,500 based on an appeal that they submitted at that time. The comps that you have in front of you are similar in style, quality, and two of them are in the same subject neighborhood. Comp 1 is original interior in the subject neighborhood. Comp 2 is original interior in the subject neighborhood. Comp 3 is an updated interior in an adjacent neighborhood just a few blocks from this property. What you also have in front of you is a timeline of the different correspondence that I've had with Mr. Murphy regarding this property. It started back on 7/21 when we tried to reach out to the homeowners due to a question we had concerning the sketch of the property that we noticed when reviewing the property in detail. And we've had multiple conversations since then trying to either obtain a on-site visit or actual home plans of the property to determine if there's a deficiency on our sketch. Unfortunately, because of different software updates we've had throughout the years, we do not know who originally sketched that property, so we cannot consult with them. But we've tried to obtain additional information in order to avoid having them come to this board and having this meeting right now. So the last entry that you'll see on that timeline was from yesterday. I heard a response from Kansas City, Missouri. We tried to attempt to obtain the original home plans for this property. They had to go out to the archive site, which is a third-party vendor. They did find those plans. Unfortunately, there is a fee in order to access those plans. And at this time, the county does not feel that we should be compensating or paying for those home plans in order to determine that. So the reason why I presented the email from Kansas City, Missouri, I believe, Mr. Murphy, you have a copy of that as well?
Yes,
They
thank
can
you.
reference that, your homeowners can reference that if they would like to obtain those house plans from the
Okay.
city of Kansas City.
Okay. Yeah.
After looking at the appraisal that has been currently provided, there's only one property that we quickly reviewed that truly matches the square footage that is listed on the appraisal. All the other square footage on the comps that they provided is not accurate. They're taking in the actual basement square footage and not just the living area itself. So we feel that right now we are fair value for that property.
What was the purchase price in 2006?
2006, it was $509,427.
590,000?
509.
509.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
Thank you.
Currently, it's appraised at $762,000.
Have any more questions? Have any questions? Do you have any further comments, sir?
Sir, no, I will, as I say, Mr. Medina has certainly been good to work with. I don't want the board to think of, he's been very good to work with. We've been pretty busy. I just got this in. As I say, I think there's, I think the 762.5 is, just very aggressive at again, this is a nice house, not poo-pooing it in that way. It's a nice property. It's a bit dated. We think that it's not going to command what the county's asking for in the value. My appraiser had put it at 610, so that's what's in the report. I realize there's a range in there. As I say, it's both of my clients work and they're getting near retirement age. So when you think about, if you renovate the home yourself, if the next person doesn't like that, you've really wasted your money. So, they're at the point where they're not going to remodel the home. And as I say, so I think with the, again, it's a nice interior. It's not a condition. It's just not what people looking in that subdivision want these days. So the home, probably just doesn't bring everything that the county thinks it might bring, were it a bit more updated. I certainly think, updated, the county's figure would be correct. And we think it, has, it's not quite the top of the market. And I think the county this time, I'm not saying it's, anything like what we have going on in some other counties. Let's put it that way. They've just really got it valued at the top of the market, and we don't quite think it's at the top of the market.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Okay, the board will make a decision and get back with the county, and they'll notify you within the next 3 or 4 days.
Oh, sure.
Okay, thank you for coming.
No, thank you so much. Thank you for your time. I was on Jackson County's board for a long time. It's a lot of work, so appreciate it.
explain to us as best you can, and then we'll hear from the county and then get back to you if you have a rebuttal to make. Please push the button, and that microphone is not the best, so stay close to it, please.
Okay.
Thank you. Go.
Yes, my name is Adam Hallett. I purchased the home on Redwood Lane in 2009 for $235,000. From the get-go, there's been nothing but problems with the property. The foundation has been sinking, just a nightmare buy, and I've been slowly fixing it. I've had the county inside the home to inspect the interior. Well, recently I just got a letter saying, hey, we're going to cancel your insurance due to your roof. Well, if you're going to get your roof fixed, you better have your foundation fixed. So I went and I've gotten the foundation part started. I went with a lower estimate, only 11 foundation piers versus the 23 piers another company wanted to do. My opinion is I wanted my value to stay the same. I even in the next appeal upped it, let's say $1,000. So far I've spent $45,000 repairing this. That doesn't include the roof. I still need to get a new sub pump. 5 of the drainage spouts buried. There's just a lot of things with the property, and it'd be greatly appreciated that if the increase was left minimally. I live in the home. There's a lot of interior stuff. I'm just focusing on the exterior, and there's about $70,000 worth of work, as you can see there.
Okay. Questions, you want to go to the county?
Yeah, let's go to the county.
We're going to hear from the county.
Yep.
Eric Barker with the Clay County Assessor's Office. I did have an informal with Mr. Hallett. Our appraised market value of the property is $343,800. The owner's opinion of value when filing for the informal was last year's value, that being $309,600, which was lowered to that value from a 2023 appeal. When the BOE paperwork was filed, their opinion was $311,000. They did, as he said, purchase the home in 2009 for $235,000. The subject home is a 4-bed, 3.5-bath home with 1,000 square foot of basement finish and is located in Forest Oaks. This home, as he had stated, has no updates, again, to the best of our knowledge. All of the comps, they are located in the same neighborhood of Forest Oaks. Comp 1 is a 4-bed, 3.5-bath home with 1,000 square foot basement finish. This home has had minimal updates and was sold for $390,000 in March of '23. Comp number 2 is a 4-bed, 3.5-bath home with no basement finish. This home has no updates other than a refinished kitchen counter and was sold for $370,000 in March of 2023. Comp 3 is a 4-bed, 2 and 2.5-bath home with 800 square foot of basement finish. This home has had minimal updates and sold for $385,000 November of '24. The owner did submit the estimates to us in the informal for the roofing and the paperwork stating that his insurance was dropping him due to the condition of the roof. However, aside from that, we received no photos showing any issues with the roof or if there were any leaks because of it or photos of the foundation issues that they were having. The owner, again, has appealed in 2011, 2019, 2023, and of course this year. 3 of those times he has been before the board members. In previous appeals, most of the issues were due to deferred maintenance. In 2023, the home was lowered from $357,300 to the $309,600, which he's proposing the value to remain at. The home does already, from the previous appeal, have a physical condition adjustment in place, and we did lower the condition to a 20, which is fair, a fair condition, along with the do not remove depreciation code that is in place to assure that the adjustments stay there for the issues that were presented. This home, we feel that it's good where it's at. The market is going to continue to, the values of the homes are going to continue to increase as long as the market is doing well. we can't lower the value every time the market does good. All of that, and looking at the sales comps, and he had said just a moment ago he's spent $45,000 so far repairing the property. I feel that all of that says that this condition, that this value is good where it's at.
On your comp sheet, subject property condition class is average. You said you lowered it to fair.
That's the 35 on there is not the.
That's the
That's
quality
the quality,
rating, not the condition
yeah,
rating.
quality of the build. The condition ratings
They're
aren't
all
on them.
basically the same quality build. But the condition rating in our system on that property is a 20, which is fair. It's one step above unlivable. There's,
You took the appraised, your value here that you've determined, and then you made mention there that you made some adjustment for the physical issues. How big was that adjustment?
All right, yeah, the adjustment from the 2023 appeal, his assessed market value at the time was $357,900, so may as well say 358. The condition adjustments that were put in place lowered that value to the $309,600 that it was previously appraised at last cycle.
03,
Yeah, 30.
23.
And
Yeah,
did you-
from
did
20,
you-
in 2023, when he appealed, it dropped from 358 to 309 essentially.
And
It
did you make a
essentially-
similar adjustment for this period?
No, there was no
Yes.
additional.
it's still in there.
Okay.
So essentially what it is when we place an adjustment to that condition, and then if we further do a depreciation adjustment based on that physical depreciation that's in there, it's essentially discounting the record 40-some thousand dollars over what it would appraise at if we took those out. Every sale in there, it's a small addition. There's not that many homes, but there were like 34 sales in the last 2 years. The lowest one is $300,000. There's only one home that sold under $330,000.
So out of these three comps, which of these three comps would you hold up to be closest to the subject?
Closest to the subject, let me look at my notes here. I mean, as far as looking at bed, bath count, the build, I mean, all the builds are relatively similar. I mean, comp 1, comp 2, I mean, I would say are very similar in every way. Comp 3 is, I mean, still obviously like a 2-story style home, but obviously slightly different build. So I'd feel that comp 1, comp 1 and comp 2 would be the most comparable.
So let's just say on average there, let's just use the number 380.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you all are coming in at 343. So that difference between the 380 and the 343 is the adjustment that you're making for the issues that the taxpayers saying, would that be right to say?
Yeah.
And it's a percentage off of the total assessed value. So
Okay.
essentially, as the value would grow on the property or go up, that percentage is actually a larger amount of an adjustment off.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
So said another way, I mean, if the house were in perfect condition, you all would be
It probably
much higher
close to-
than the
yeah, probably like
343.
380, 390.
You'd be at 380 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I'd just like to make several comments. When I first purchased this home in 2009, it was during the housing crisis. I got a letter right away within, first 2 years that they were reassessing my house and saying it was now worth $275,000 or $285,000. If you remember, this is back during the big, homes in my neighborhood were selling for $138,000. They were being foreclosed on. So I've been watching, you're wondering, wow, he appeals his taxes all the time? Well, because of that, there was no way my house went up that value. And I've watched ever since then. And also, my basement currently is not finished due to the pier work. They destroyed the walls in the basement, the carpet had to be removed so they could drill down into the foundation. So currently, yeah, my house is a mess. I live in my house. I'm great that, you know, people look at this as a commodity. This is a home I live in with my family. And hey, I just bought a new car. I'm paying my fair share on taxes. I'm just telling you, this house has a lot of issues, and I'm doing the right thing in fixing them. And hey, I leave it the same, a little bit more somewhere in the middle. The 340, I just don't, I've already spent 40 some, and that's just exterior work. If I was going to sell this property, because that's what we're comparing it to, guess what? I'd have to dump a heck of a lot more money into it, and I'm trying. And yes, I understand my property will go up in value, but I have spent a tremendous amount of money just so far. $45,000 is a lot of money to me, and I've just spent that in the last 2 months. And I will continue spending more money over the next 2 years just to get the exterior of the house in shape.
And the money that you spent was for the foundation?
Foundation, concrete, all the concrete was sinking. There was erosion. If you look at the diagrams going underneath the concrete of the house, I had new gutters put on. The gutters were never good that they put on the house, the builder grade. I had larger gutters. I'm getting the downspouts. There's a big drainage problem. A lot of the homes in that area are going to need foundation because all the homes are sinking. I've lived there for 16 years. I'm surrounded by renters and people just moving in and out. I've lived there for 16 years, and I'm not looking at this house. It's a place I live, you know. So
What's wrong with the roof?
It's old, according to them. It could leak. So what I did was I had to switch back to a different insurance company. I put a $30,000 hail wind deductible on it because I'm going to be replacing it out of pocket. I'm not making insurance claims. You know, I'm paying for all this stuff out of pocket. There is no insurance claims.
And you're doing that because the roof's just old?
Yep. It was partially at 3/4 replaced, I believe, looking back at my paperwork in 2007. Insurance companies right now are really stickling, you know, between property taxes and insurance. You're going to see massive foreclosures in Clay County eventually, because I remember 2008, I remember 2009, and guess what? People couldn't afford $200,000 homes. You're telling me they can afford $400,000 homes with higher interest rates, higher property taxes, and higher insurance? I don't think so. So I'm just making that point here because I think this is insane that I live in this house. And I get this is how we pay for things, but it's not an apples to apples comparison. I mean, once these homes could all be built by the same builder, 10 years from now, they're all different, you know. So I'm not trying to sell my house. I get that what they're trying to do. I'm just trying to state my case. I'm trying to be fair, that's all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got a couple questions. Everybody's talking. I can't get in. Okay, the foundation is fixed, right?
Possibly. We don't know. I did 11 piers, okay? If you look at the original estimate, they wanted to put 23 foundation piers in. Each foundation pier cost over $2,000 each. So that's $46,000, possibly just on foundation piers. I went with a different thing, trying to fix the drainage, a different approach, instead of loading up on foundation piers, which is would have been, you know, almost $50,000 in foundation piers. So I don't know if it's fixed yet.
I question that $2,000 a pier.
You can go look it up.
Well,
And the estimates, that is the honest to God, it is with the labor and everything else, it is $2,000 a pier. That is what they're charging. Thrasher Foundation and Foundation Recovery Systems.
well, I've been doing this a little while, so.
Well, then I got ripped off.
So-
But that's what I paid.
But is there a warranty involved in that?
Yeah, there's a warranty on it.
Okay, so you got a warranty on that. Now, what are the other exterior issues besides the roof?
The drainage, all the sinkage, I have to get topsoil brought in. I still have to get some more trees removed. topsoil put in, seating, all that stuff. Like, this is just exterior. I mean, I had my kitchen sink blow up the other day, water shooting into the faucet. You know, it's 20 years old, shot off into the ceiling, water, you know, I cleaned it all up and replaced. These homes are old. I mean, we're fixing stuff. But yes, it's $2,000 per year. That is what I paid. You can look at my Thrasher invoice, it's all there.
So do we have positive slope around the foundation now?
No. I still have to do that.
All right.
That's $1,700, I believe.
Okay.
I'd just like to point out that this has been going on, like he said, since he bought the house. And he talks about how he doesn't understand how they sent him a higher tax assessment right after he bought it, but he bought it in the middle of the downturn when everything crashed. And the house actually was built in 2001, and it sold originally for $212,000. It then resold in 2003 for $249,000, and then again in 2005 for $262,500. That's why it got reassessed higher than what he paid, because he bought in the middle of the next cycle at $235,000. So he immediately started appealing this every 2 years. Every 2 years, there's a new issue with the house, some reason to lower it back down. And this has just been going on with informal hearings and board hearings ever since.
Well, this is the first time I've actually spoke. Usually it gets settled before we get into this room. I mean, this time I got all the estimates, I've got all the paper. Before it was just my word, hey, here's some photos. Here we go, this is the work in action, this is what it's costing to get all this stuff fixed.
But we
You know?
don't credit other taxpayers in the county
Okay,
for
the other
tree
taxpa-
removal or yard.
Guess what? A neighbor of
grass.
mine just sold their house. Guess what they had to do? They had to remove a bunch of trees to sell their house. That's a
I don't
fact.
think they had to sell it. I think
The buyer wanted them to remove.
they can negotiate that.
Okay, well, guess what? I'm glad.
What did they sell
As a
that house for?
As a taxpayer, you know what? Why I moved here was because of low taxes. That's why I moved here. Low taxes, and they continually go up.
The market grew around
The
you.
market is a bubble and it's gonna burst, just to let everyone know. It happened before, it will happen again. You know it, I know it.
Okay, I think we've heard
Yep.
sufficient, have we? We'll make a decision, and the board will get with you in the next few days as what the decision was.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you for coming in. We're going to let you tell us what you have to say.
Sure.
We'll give the county an opportunity to rebut or discuss or whatever, and then we'll get back to you if there's more detail needed.
Sure.
So please, the microphone's not the best, so speak closely
Okay.
if you will.
Sir, my name is Tuan Bui. Just talk about my subject home that I sent up to you there. My thing was, how can you validate that I lived in my house for about 2 years and 2 months since January 25, and they're trying to increase my house value by 21%? I don't see how that's even possible because I purchased my home near towards the peak of the housing market when the interest rate was going higher too. I have done nothing to my house except for epoxying my garage. The basement is still unfinished. There's no upgrades I've done to the house at all since then. I did get 2 different real estate agents send me, comp values to the house where I live at right now in my neighborhood, and also I get random flyers from the people who sell in my neighborhood about how the house median value is actually decreasing or stabilizing, not increasing. So you have all the stuff in front of you there, so hope you can review that.
This is the application that you filled out.
Yes, sir.
And you say that you think the value is $805,000,
Correct.
okay? Let's see what they have to say, and then we'll
yeah.
get back to you.
Sure.
Eric Barker with the Clay County Assessor's Office. Our appraised value on the property at 10122 North Kansas Court is $623,400. The owner's opinion of value when filing for the informal hearing was $556,200. And then, as you had just stated, when filing for the BOE, the opinion of value or the fair market value was $805,000, which is $35,000 more than he paid for the house, which was, looks like November of '22, $780,000. The subject is a 4-bed, 3.5-bath home with no basement finish. It's located in Staley Farms. All of the following comps are also located in Staley Farms. Comp 1 is a 5-bed, 4-bath home with no basement finish, located again in Staley Farms. It has no updates, as the subject home doesn't either, as it's brand new. This home sold for $759,900 August of '24. Comp 2, Comp 2 is a 4-bed, 3.5-bath home with no basement finish. This home has, again, no updates and was sold for $960,000 in June of '24. Comp 3 is a 5-bed, 4-bath home with no basement finish and sold, no updates, and sold for $830,000 December of '24. I want to point out also that the comps that Mr. Bowie brought with him, he does have 2 in there at 102-200 North Bales and 104-12 North Brooklyn Avenue that are the same as our Comp 1 and Comp 3. He also saved me the time of doing it and brought the MLS sheet for his house, again showing that he did purchase his house for $780,000. During the informal process, the owner said that the neighbors' homes have sold much higher, or they have a much higher square foot than their home. Looking at the sales in the neighborhood and the comps proved this not to be the case, as we can see from the copies of the comps that I presented to you. These homes that I pulled are greater square footage, but the prices again are also higher. It's not a case where square footage is higher and the price is lower. The owner wasn't satisfied with what I was telling them in regard to that we have them assessed at a much lower than their purchase price. I asked them if there were any physical issues with the interior or exterior of the home, and they said, and I quote, "No, it's a new home," unquote. They requested an on-site inspection, and when our team went to the home, Mr. Bowie's wife stated that they didn't want anybody taking pictures of the inside of the home, that there's nothing wrong with it, it's a brand new home. Given the purchase price of the home, the sales comps, the owner's own admission that there is nothing wrong with the home, The owner's admission that fair market value is $805,000, that again being $35,000 higher than his purchase price. And this, what's that? Okay. And anyway, we feel that where it is at the 623.4 is generous and good where it's at.
Casabella,
They build nice homes.
I do.
Yeah,
That's why I bought it.
yeah. I don't have any questions.
So, just want to make sure I got this right. You guys said the value is 623.4, and the homeowner says it's 805.
I was talking about the sell value, not the market. I didn't understand the difference between the sell value and what you're saying.
There's not supposed to be.
The build value. I was just saying that, I just saw on my tax form that they sent me, they're saying that my home value is increasing by 21%. So what I did was I timed 21% by 780,000. And I was like, there's no way that it can go up, to almost $1 million in 2.5 years when I barely lived there that long. And I didn't do anything to the house. So the 805,000 might have been just what I interpret the sell value is. That if I had to sell it today, how much I would sell it for, not how much what they're doing. So there's might have been a misinterpretation there on my part.
It is a misinterpretation. The county assessor is supposed to be within 90% of what you paid for the home. And the fact that we're not means we're too low, and we will continue to have to increase that until we catch up to that market. The state tax commission this year ruled that we were all too low and we have to go up. So you're going to see that kind of a roll every 2 years when they reassess until it gets closer to the market value of that property. And that'll be the same for every home in that addition. But in assessments, they're valued off of a cost approach first. And so everything, you don't chase a sale price, which is why we don't just set them at what we know they sold for. We have to treat them all fairly. And that's why you're seeing a sort of uniform increase to everyone at the same time.
Did you have an informal?
We did.
So
And at the informal, do you know that he said this value?
We didn't know if the 805,000 was put on the board paperwork. The informal hearing, his opinion of value was 556,200.
So as I was saying, if I was assuming they're talking about the build value of the house, but I was talking about the sell value if I had to sell my house. So if it's put into respect, if you said that it was 530-something thousand and it jumped up to 635, then what I say my house value would be is 535, just a $35,000 difference, not a $100-something thousand difference that you're portraying it to be. I did have something else to say. When he came to my house, I did offer, they were allowed to come inside. I don't like people taking pictures of inside my house because it's personal to me. But they were allowed to come in, but they chose to stay outside. So that's, I'm okay. I thought that was normal for them. So this is my first time doing this. A second issue, I kind of, just respectfully, I'm not trying to like point any fingers, but I asked who the assessors was hired by. They told me they're hired by the city or the county. For me personally, that might be a little biased or unfair because they're hired by the county. I feel like if you wanted to have a fair assessment, it might be better to have like a third neutral party that has no skin in the game, as you can say.
You mean like us?
Yes, like you. I didn't know that. Like I said, this is my first time doing this. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I don't understand the process, and I'm trying to learn what the process is. So.
Okay.
And,
All right.
and also, I sent a bunch of different comps for you guys too. At least probably 7, 8 more comps in Staley Farms, and you can see the difference, and especially the more bedrooms than me and higher and more like square footage than me too. So you can see all of those as well.
You want to give us more comps to validate this opinion of value you put on here?
So I don't know what you want me to say about that. If I accidentally push 805 compared to what they're saying, like I was saying, I was just basing on that. If I had to sell my house today, what the value would be to sell it. I didn't know they were talking about the 500,000, 600,000. I don't know what the difference between that and when I bought my house for, because I bought my house for 780, but they're saying my house is worth 500 and something. Is it the build of the house that costs 500,000, or I don't understand that, so.
Well, when the tax bill comes in, you might understand it. Any other comments?
No.
Okay, we'll make a decision on this file, and the county will get back with you in the next 3 or 4 days with our decision.
Did I make a mistake by doing that? Because I was trying to say that the house value shouldn't be increased by 21%, but maybe about whatever. They're saying that my house value increased by 130-something thousand, but I was thinking it's only should increase about 35,000. So that's what I meant to say on the paperwork.
You know that the taxes are based on the value.
Correct. Yeah, okay.
All right, thank you very much for coming.
Okay, thank you.